Welcome to Coffee and Conversions. I'm Guy Yalif, CEO at Intellimise, and today we're talking with Jason Widup, who is VP of Marketing at Metadata.io. Jason's amazing for many reasons, one of which is his deep marketing and markups experience at Workfront, Tableau, Lytics, Web Trends, and more. And today, we're going to be having a cup of coffee and hearing more about creating high-converting websites. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks, Guy. Thanks for having me. Happy to be on.
Very glad you're here.
This is actually the first high growth startup that I've worked at. And my first role as head of marketing for any company. I started my career in marketing analytics, using web trends, using Google Analytics. I was actually considered an analytics unicorn back in the day, which is kind of funny.
We are of similar vintage. I remember analytics being such a unicorn thing. And it's always nice to talk to another data-driven, optimization-oriented marketer.
Absolutely. Yep.
So let's dive in. In that super rapid growth that you're experiencing, why is a high-converting website important to the business as you try to drive leads, either to a digital sales team or to drive people to self-serve sign up? What role does it play?
On our website, we don't gate content. And so when you don't gate content, obviously you're not capturing people. You have no way of communicating with them. You're guessing like maybe who was on your website. When you move to this motion of like, okay, the only conversion event on our website is to a demo request. So when you're like going that deep in the funnel on your website, then high converting and conversion rate to that is like 100, like that's your priority, that's your top priority for us. So like we're in this stage now. So one of the interesting things about our growth is I've fueled most of that growth off site through conversation ads on LinkedIn, primarily leading to a lead gen form. Somebody never has to visit our website. I bet they do, but they don't, to drive a huge portion of our like inbound demand. But now, obviously no tactic lasts forever, at the same efficiencies that they started or you're able to get them to. And after 18 months, they're still working for us, but they've gotten a little bit more expensive. And then when we had enough data to actually look at the analysis, the conversion rate is like 4x when they come to the website than if they come through a conversation ad. And so when we realized that, it's like, well, we knew it, but we didn't have the data that said like, oh, it's 4 to 5x difference. Like, whoa, that's huge. And so that for us was like, okay, that's the reason to focus on the website now. Like if there's no other reasons, like we can stop spending money over here, spend a little bit more money on the website and driving people to the website to get better ultimate performance. And so that's another reason why for us specifically too at Metadata, it's so important because we're moving off of the thing that really fueled the growth of the business for the last 18 months. And the website will be the primary source of demand.
What resources have you deployed or need or want to deploy to drive more demo requests from your website?
One of the things that I want to be able to do is more personalization on the website. And so, because obviously we all know if you do personalization right, you will get a higher conversion rate. It just will happen. We know somebody's visiting from one of our target account lists, and we just do like basic IP sniffing or something like that, look it up. Okay, boom, they're in the target account list. Give them a slightly different experience. For example, one of the things we've talked about, even with just the drift, is just, okay, we notice that they're from a target account list customer. Don't ask them all the qualifying questions. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and let them all the way through because we've already done the work. We're 90% confident that they're going to meet, they're going to say yes to those things. Just being able to like get deeper in the analysis, you know what I mean? And then leveraging that to, make changes and try and get better conversion from the website. Especially as we start to focus more on, driving traffic to the website, getting the conversions from the website to demo. Those will be some of the biggest ones.
Those are great next things to go after and totally aligned with, we all know that if you do personalization right, you'll get higher conversion rates. Also hear you on the analytics, driving insights that'll lead to better hypotheses that do better conversion rate optimization. I wonder, with that as context, what one piece of conversion rate optimization advice would you like to share with our community of conversion obsessed marketers?
My advice might go against the grain a little bit, which is
almost always more fun.
Yeah. Analytics is like the data is only part of the story because we're dealing with human psychology and human behavior. And so I like to just remind everybody of that don't get too focused on the data. The data should be there. Like you should really, I mean, you should focus on the data. The data should be right. It should be as robust as you possibly can make it, but to give you insights, not to tell you the exact truth of what's going on. You're going to see some stuff in the data that doesn't make any sense. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, human behavior. So use analytics for what it's good for. Generally pointing you in the right direction, generally like telling you what's going on the website, but missing out on some of the most critical things that are actually in the buyer's journey, like word of mouth or social proof or just organic social posts. You know what I mean? Like things like that you usually won't see in analytics, but actually was what drove that demo request or what drove that purchase. And so that's why we can't fully rely on the tools we have today, but we should be using them as best we can, but really just understanding what value, like where they're good and where I need to like add some just human intuition to it.
Jason, thank you. This was super insightful. Thanks for chatting with me today. It was great to have you on this episode of Coffee and Conversions. Cheers.
Awesome. Thanks, Guy. Cheers.